I thought my 20s would be full of success, adventures, and figuring it all out. Spoiler alert, it wasn't exactly that. The truth is, I made some really big mistakes that completely shaped my life. Sometimes in painful ways, but always with a valuable lesson. So in today's video, I'm opening up about the biggest misstep I took during my 20s, what they have taught me, and how you can use that to avoid the same pitfall. Let's get started. Number one, using money for fun rather than as a tool. The first mistake I made during my 20s was using money in a way to have fun and show off rather than as a tool to build a better way of life. There's only two ways you could really think about money if you think about it. You can either use it in a way to enhance your life or use it to impress others. For most of my 20s, I chose the latter. I was spending a big chunk of my $50,000 salary on flashy things like expensive outfit, gadgets, anything that made me look like I was successful on the outside. But deep inside, I was empty. I was living paycheck to paycheck, just waiting for the next shiny thing. It wasn't until when the pandemic hit I realized I needed a change. And that wake-up call led me to rethink everything I knew about money. If I wanted to leave the job that I hate and create the life that I want, I needed financial freedom. So I stopped spending to impress others and focused on saving instead. It wasn't easy, but consistently saving month after month gave me the safety net that I needed to quit that job and started focusing on my dreams. And changing my mindset about how money works make me feel more in control and empowered rather than being stuck on autopilot. So if you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck or you're spending without a purpose, trust me, changing how you use money is one of the most powerful things you can do. And if you want more detail about how to budget and saving, I have a full video link up here that can help. It's all about taking those steps to creating a life that feels meaningful on your terms. Number two, taking a side. The second mistake I made was thinking that I had to pick a side. Either hustle my life away or just find myself and enjoy the ride. In your 20s, there are so many mixed messages. On one side, you're told it's all about living your best life, becoming the best version of yourself, and enjoying every moment life has to offer. On the other hand, the hustle culture kicks in. It's all about grinding, working hard, making the most of these years before you get older and having to take on any more responsibilities. Like most, I felt hard for the hustle culture. I thought if I work really hard and check all the right boxes, everything would magically fall right into place. So I threw myself into trying to get my CFA exam, trying to break into Wall Street, obsessively chasing this idea of what I think my life should look like. Spoiler alert, I didn't land my dream job. I put so much pressure on myself trying to figure it all out by a certain age that I lost sight of the journey itself because I thought happiness was waiting for me at the end of all these accomplishments. But here's what no one tells you. When you measure happiness only by achievement, it becomes this tiny box you're trying to fit your life into. And the more you chase it, the smaller the box gets. Until one day you realize that the joy of the journey has completely disappeared. So if I could go back, I would tell my younger self, it's okay if it takes longer. It's okay to slow down, to pause, and to just be. Because the ride itself is what makes the destination worthwhile. Number three, stop caring about what people think. The third mistake I made was caring too much about what other people thought of me. Honestly, this was the thing that held me back the most. And if you're going to get at least one thing out of this entire video, let it be this. Stop caring about what other people think of you. And life will be so much better once you do. Because I waste so much of my time trying to look good for others, choosing a career that's unimpressive, and delaying starting my YouTube channel for years. And yeah, I love to tell you that do whatever you want because no one cares. No one's going to judge you. No one's going to laugh at you. But that's not true. People will judge you. They will make comment and they will laugh at you. But ask yourself, are those things really worth sacrificing your goal for? So one quote that stuck with me till today when I was struggling with all this is that a millionaire won't judge you for trying to start a business. An athlete won't judge you for picking up a sport. A musician won't judge you for trying to sing a song. But it's always the people who's not doing anything with their life who has the most to say. So the faster you can let go of what other people think, the happier you will be. Trust me. Number four, taking the default path. The fourth mistake that I made was taking the default path that society hands you. So there's a default route that's been laid out for us by society, our parents, and even the education system. It goes like this. Go to school, get your education, start a career, get married, and start a family. It's safe, and stepping away from it can feel like a huge risk. But here's what no one is talking about. There's also the risk of staying on that path. The risk of settling for a job you don't like, or a boss that makes you feel miserable, a relationship that leaves you unhappy. No one seems to be thinking about that. So a great way to tell if you're making a mistake by sticking to the default path is to ask yourself, if I wasn't in my current position, would I actively choose it? If I didn't already have this job, would I apply for it? If I wasn't already in this relationship, would I actively seek it? And if the answer is no, then it's probably time for a change. Because staying in a situation just because it's a default can leave you in a deep sense of missed opportunities and regrets. Number 5, stop feeling sorry for yourself. The 5th mistake that I made was feeling sorry for myself whenever something went wrong. There were many times that I felt, or it felt like I felt, and I thought this was the end of the world. I convinced myself I wasn't good enough, nothing else I tried would work, and I should just give up and stick to what I knew. I played a victim, and because of that, it took me forever to bounce back after every step back. I was paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice and failing again. But here's the truth. The best time to fail is in your 20s or your 30s. The fall isn't as hard, and if you can look up, you can get up. So these days I fail all the time because it just means that I'm trying, I'm putting myself out there, stepping out of my comfort zone and continuing to push forward. If I don't feel like I'm failing every now and then, it just means that I'm not challenging myself enough, and that's when life stops being exciting. So failure is part of the process, and you have to stumble before you make it to the top. Or like I always like to say, fail your way to the top. And I wish someone would have told me these in my 20s. So thank you guys for watching. And if you like this content, check out my next video on how to escape the rat race without quitting your 9 to 5.